So, you want to be a builder? But why, mate? You think it's all flexing in high-vis, knocking off early and rocking up in a Hilux with all the bells and whistles? Oh mate, you got no idea what you're really signing up for. Welcome to early mornings, clients lovelier than your mother-in-law, and more rules than your ex ever had. And tradies, they're now officially classified as mythical creatures. Honestly, you got a better chance of spotting a Bigfoot riding a unicorn than your crew on site. One day you're pouring a slab, and next you're explaining to the client, "Hey man, what's happening?" "What do you mean they're on site?" "I'm literally standing on site, there's no one here." "What do you mean they're there? There's no one on site." "Your cousin." "Which one?" "The one that made full recovery from stage 4 last week." "Why are you sending him on site?" Oh man. Still here? Great. I'm not here to scare you off. I'm here to help you figure it out. Because once you know the rules, you stop making rookie mistakes. Stop getting stitched up by certifiers and stop losing sleep over stuff that could have been avoided with one line of the code. And that brings us to today's unit. And yeah, I know, it sounds something like a robot would make, but it teaches you how to build properly, the legal way. The way that doesn't end up on today's news with a house falling over in the background.
Construction's building licence indefinitely after the collapse of a Sydney home last month. Now the builder cannot continue construction on any work site.
What are we actually building? Class 1 is the serious stuff. Single dwelling, duplexes, townhouses, the stuff that costs 1 mil plus and definitely don't look the part. Class 10 is the extras. Garages, carports, sheds, pergolas, decks, pool fencing and stuff like that. But don't think Class 10 means you can slap together a pergola from a fence palings and some offcuts you found in the backyard. You still have to follow the rules. I've seen some backyard builds that look like a stiff breeze will turn them into a pile of matchsticks. And let me tell you, I've seen painters keep painting the top and bottom of the doors. Roofers doing flashing so dodgy, the roof starts looking like a Swiss cheese. Holes everywhere, no silicone, no sealing, flashings mismatching. All that's missing is a coat of yellow paint and call it made in Switzerland. And this is why knowing the code matters. It's not about just passing the assessment. It's about doing the job right, keeping people safe and saving yourself the cost of ripping it out and redoing everything again. So, what will you actually learn in this unit? This unit teaches you how to find the rules in the NCC and the Australian standards, understand them, so you're not just guessing what bracing means or what type of bracing you need. Apply them on site, like when you're framing, roofing or setting out a slab. We're talking about NCC Volume 2, for example, AS 2870 for slabs, AS 1684 for timber frames, and there's heaps more. So if building was a video game, this unit teaches you how to use the map and read the quests. So you're not just running around hoping you'd get wiped out. You actually know where the traps are and how not to get smoked by council. I've seen a lot of guys running a job but had no idea about the codes. So one bloke built a beautiful deck. Looked mint at the first glance. Balustrade and stairs matched until the certifier showed up. The balustrade had gaps over 125 mil and the stair treads and risers were all over the shop. None of it met the code. Deck itself was fine, but balustrade and stairs had to be ripped out and redone. Cost him so much time, money and a fair bit of pride. And all of that because he didn't double check the standards. So this unit gives you the power to check things before you make an expensive mistake like that. For example, is that beam the right size for the span? Do you need a termite barrier? How deep does the footing need to be for a carport in a clay soil? Does your wall bracing meet the wind region requirements? So in short, This unit teaches you how to find the rules and apply them in the real world. Not just pass the course, but don't get burned on the site. If you can learn to use the NCC and standards properly, you're already more valuable than you think. How do you actually use the code on site without losing your mind or spending half the day flipping through clauses? Step 1. Know where to look. Biggest trap I see? Guys guessing. They think, this beam should do it. They reckon waterproofing should go halfway up the wall without checking anything. Nah, mate. That's how you end up redoing it with the inspector breathing down your neck. The NCC Volume 2 is your starting point. That's the rule book for Class 1 and 10 buildings. Think of it like your building Bible. Then you got Australian standards like we mentioned before, AS 1684 for timber frames and AS 2870 for slabs. They go deeper. They tell you how many nails you need, what size of timber to use, and even the type of connectors. Know when to look. You don't have to read it like a novel. No one's expecting you to snuggle up with the NCC before bedtime. You just need to know when to pull it out. General rule of thumb. Before you start framing, before you pour a slab, before each inspection, and anytime something feels off. So if you start thinking, this doesn't look right, trust your gut. Open the code, and better to spend 5 minutes checking than 5 hours trying to get the trades back. And trust me, you're not getting them back easily. Know how to use it. So the trick is, using the code isn't about reading every page. It's about knowing how to navigate it without going mental. And the basic toolkit. Control F and type in your keyword like stairs, balustrade, minimum height, and learn to read tables. They are not easy to understand the first time you see them. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're building a low pitch roof around 5 degrees. You check the code and you realize the roof sheet needs at least 10 degrees. So what do? Fix it now? Sweet, no problem. If you don't, no one's gonna realize straight away. But 6 months down the line, if it leaks, the client's gonna be fuming, and trust me, at that point, you're gonna be taking a Christmas break in July. Knowing how to apply the code will help you avoid mistakes before they happen. And once you get the hang of it, you will start spotting stuff others miss. That makes you so valuable on site. It's not about knowing it all. It's about building with confidence and not copying the callback or rework. So whether you're reporting a job, framing a wall, or arguing with a brickie about the height of the dump-proof course, you should check a code. It's gonna be your backup and you need to learn how to use it. Alright, this is the bit where most people start sweating. Not because it is hard, but because no one explained it properly. What actually happens in the assessment? What do they ask you? Do you need to sound like a lawyer in a high whiz? Nah. You just need to understand how to use the code to solve the real problems. So let's break it down. You'll be tested on whether you can actually identify the relevant part of the NCC or Australian standard, interpret that information correctly, and apply it to the real job or site condition. Also, you need to explain your answer in plain English. Let's do some example questions for the assessment. And if you don't know how to get to NCC Volume 2, I'm going to show it now. In your browser, type in NCC Volume 2. You have to find Australian Building Codes Board website and find the link that says Download PDF. On that page, you're going to find Combined Volume 2 and Housing Provisions. You're going to click that and that's going to open up a PDF file. Question 1. What is the minimum ceiling height for a habitable room in Class 1 building according to the NCC? You're going to press Ctrl F and type in ceiling height. You're going to scroll down to this page, room heights. You're going to read through it and your answer should sound like this. The minimum ceiling height for a habitable room in Class 1 building is 2.4 meters above finished floor level as per NCC Volume 2. This includes bedrooms, living rooms and dining rooms. For our non-habitable rooms like bathrooms, toilets and laundries, the minimum height is 2.1 meters. Question 2. You are tiling a bathroom floor in new Class 1 dwelling. According to the NCC, what waterproofing requirements apply to the floor area? You're gonna type in wet area waterproofing. You're gonna scroll down and you have to read through all of this. So once you read through all of that, your answer should sound something like this. According to NCC Volume 2, bathrooms in Class 1 buildings must be waterproofed or graded to flow waste if on a suspended floor or using water-sensitive materials. Key requirements. The entire shower floor must be waterproofed. Shower walls must be waterproofed to at least 1.8 meters high. The rest of the bathroom floor must be waterproofed or graded to a flow waste. A 150mm waterproof upturn is required on all walls around the floor. Water stop angles must be installed at the shower recess, especially if it's hobless, and at entry door to stop water leaking into other rooms. Question 3. Natural ventilation. A bedroom in a new Class 1 building is 12 square meters in the area. According to the NCC, what is the minimum size of the window opening required to comply with the natural ventilation requirements? We're going to type in natural ventilation. And we're going to find this page. We're going to read through it. So our answer should sound something like this. According to NCC Volume 2, natural ventilation must be provided by openable windows, doors or vents that connect directly to outside air. The opening must be at least 5% of the floor area. So for a 12 square meter bedroom, calculation is going to be 12 times 0.05 equals 0.6 square meters. The openable part of the window must be at least 0.6 square meters. Even if you don't remember the numbers, you can look it up. That's the skills they are testing. Not if you are walking textbook and remembered everything, but if you know how to build right using the information that is provided to you. So what gets you the points? Referring to the correct clause or table, showing you understand what it means on site, and explaining why it matters, not just copy and paste. And what gets your mark down? Leaving answers blank, writing down I don't know, while guessing with no logic, and just copy pasting slabs of code with no context. So you can't just copy AS2840 or write whatever number you think of. Your answer should sound like a builder talking to a builder or builder talking to a tradie. Plain English and use your brain. Use the code and show how you got there. At the end of the day, this unit is about building smart, not just building fast and knowing everything. Passing the assessment is about showing that you can find the answers, not that you have memorized every rule. You are becoming the kind of builder who knows what to do and why he's doing it. And that's why you get hired, promoted, licensed, and respected in the end. Alright, if you made it this far, I'm officially impressed. You've sat through what sounds like the most boring unit in the entire certificate form. But here's the thing, it stops being boring real quick when you're in the middle of a dispute on site. And you can back yourself with a code. Suddenly, all those little details you learned, they will make you feel so good. It might feel dry now, but trust me, the first time you win an argument with a certifier or a client, because you did it by the book, it all pays off. So what this unit actually is: using codes and standards for Class 1 and 10 buildings. How to apply the codes on site, not just in theory. Real mistakes from real problems so you don't repeat them. What assessment looks like and how to pass it. How to think like a builder. And remember, the code is there to help you. It is like a mate on site who knows all the specs, just doesn't speak unless you ask him. Step 1. Download NCC Volume 2 from ABCB website. It's absolutely free. Step 2. Skim through it. Bookmark slabs, stairs, roofing, waterproofing. Step 3. Look up AS1684 and AS2870. Keep them handy. Step 4. Practice using Control F and search stuff like ceiling heights, waterproofing, roof pitch. Step 5, rewatch this video so you get me more views. And step 6, get ready for episode 2, WHS. We're gonna be talking about site safety. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't. This is all part of the journey. You don't need to know everything overnight, but what you need to do is have the right mindset. Don't guess and don't wing it. Never be afraid to check the code. The best builders I know aren't the ones who know it all. They are the ones who double check, ask questions, and do it right the first time. And that's who you're becoming. Alright champ, hit that like button and subscribe if this helped. And get ready for episode about WHS. What's WHS, you ask? Well, stick around and find out. Drop a comment below with your questions. I read every single one of them. Not because I get 3 comments per video, it is because I care, of course. Why else? And if you're sitting the assessment soon, good luck. I'm sure you got this. Just remember, measure twice, build once, and always read the bloody code.